going? We're going.
We going?
We're going.
Yeah, I'm going.
Alrighty, human at the back who's tagging along. What is your name?
Josh.
Josh. Hello Josh, I'm Lucy at the front.
Well,
Alright, are we all in low range?
second car is Craig, and then the one in front of you is Steve. Nice to meet you all. My passengers, Navigator and Rebecca.
Hello Becca.
My Navigator is Nicole.
Alrighty, there you go. Well, that's not smooth.
Nicole, have you been off Billy Coach before?
Yeah, I have in the Colorado.
So, fingers crossed, my GoPro behaves, because it's been, as usual, an arse. It's Christmas Eve, and we are doing billy goats. There has just been works on the whole of billy goats, so that's why we've come out here. We arrived yesterday, we've had a pootle around, and now we're driving home up here so that I could film the new works, really see what it's like. It's been bedded in a little bit so you can see all the loose gravel. It's had a fair few cars over it now, so we're getting some nice smooth tracks. And we'll see what it's like and see where the differences are. Fingers crossed the GoPro lasts the distance, we shall see. I'll probably do a little comparison video to May, which was the last time we came up here. Already I'm kind of like I'm sure this was more cut up here. So in convoy we have got behind me Craig and Nicole in their patrol. We've got Steve in his 105, and we've picked up an extra random unknown, Josh, in his Land Rover. I want to say it's a Discovery. It's definitely a Land Rover of some kind. So we shall see. Oh, I might need to have the window open a little bit. So far so good. Very smooth. You can definitely see, like, I think there was a big hole around here. So that's gone. See where they've been busy. It's definitely a lot smoother than May.
Yeah, it definitely takes some of the adventure away from it.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. It can't just get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse until it becomes undrivable, but they've removed all the fun from what I can tell at the moment. Like, look at that. It's just...
I believe the reason for it was for fire truck access.
yeah. And that makes sense, doesn't it? Got a little one hole forming there that will grow. So basically all the rock steps, all the rocky bits, like this I seem to remember was a bit more rocky, has basically just now got mud and gravel flattened across the top of it. Oops. Might move that map in a minute. I've got my map down here and it's flapping all over the place. So we've had down, we're on about 20 PSI. I've got my just central diff lock in, factory, nothing extra. I'm on all terrains. Gosh, listen to the cicadas. There we go. Just pop that there. I don't remember what's down here. Shut them out. One was far too slow for that. So stay.
Quite dusty as well.
Oh. What is that beeping? Nothing's flashing. Putting the tablet on the seat has made it think there's a human there. Put your seatbelt on. We stayed at the Dargo hotel last night and had dinner there, and we camped. Camping's $10 a night. You do have to take a $50 note with you to get the key, which you get back, the deposit. So that was nice, just to be able to walk to the pub. Oof, I cannot see.
Oh, that's the first little finish done and dusted.
I don't know why I'm in one. Let's go into. It's very smooth. There we go. Very smooth. Yeah, it's very smooth, isn't it? The bit that I always remember is after the helipad, there is a section where you're basically on a road there with a drop off and a steep incline on the other side. That was really chewed up in May. Loads of wombat holes, really loose. So I'm intrigued to see what that's like. I'm sure it won't take long for the holes to come back. And there's always lots of chatter about billy goats. For instance, Nicole is the passenger with Craig, and she would like to have a drive, but she's a little bit nervous. And I said to her, you can do any bit of billy goats. Billy goats isn't hard. Yes, I haven't done it in the wet. That might be another story. But it's not hard if you've got experience. Obviously, as a beginner, you'd probably find this quite confronting. But it is iconic. Just driving on the ridgeline, the views that you get, especially from the top, are spectacular. So it is definitely an iconic track. Is it the hardest thing I have driven? No. If you're a long time fan, you'll know that I broke Steve's car on Sullivan's track over in Aberfeldy. And when we were driving that, I remember saying, this is steeper than billy goats. I mean, it doesn't go on and on and on. There's just one section that's steep. It's got like rock slabs. I couldn't get over it, and I broke his hubs. Went back and did it in the Prado in the dry with my brother and did it, but it is steep, that little bit. Tracks do change. Bulltown Spur used to be steep. I was telling everyone it was steep, and then I went back and did it, and it had been graded, and it was like this. I'm like, oh, this is not how I remember it. Underneath all of this there is rocks. Like I can feel the tyres not slipping, but you know, because there was tons of gravel over the track basically. I can hear it losing a little bit of traction on there. That's an annoyingly big rock. Go around that. Here we go. What was fun when I did my comparison video in May was actually looking at the trees. They're really handy to help match up bits of video. And so seeing how they've grown, how they've changed, trees that have disappeared, found that quite mesmerising.
Has the squeak calmed down, Lucy?
It's still there, but it's not as squeaky as it was when I was driving along the road. I think the bolts just need tightening up. Here comes the helipad, I think. I've got a squeak in the back on my barrier. I don't know what it is. Try to tighten everything up. Okay. Helipad. Easy peasy. Cannot see, squeezy. Drive off the edge. There we go. I am at the helipad. Helipad. Okay. Alrighty, leaving the helipad. Steve's car is falling to pieces at the moment. So when he came back from Cape York, he lost 5th gear. So on, what day is it? Today's Tuesday. On Sunday he fitted a new gearbox and he needed a new uni joint. And then, well, we've been out.
Yeah, last time the drop off from the helipad here was a lot steeper too.
Yeah, it's so smooth. His starter motor is playing up, so he's having to bash that with a hammer to get that going. Then just now, what's happened to your exhaust? It's fallen off.
The weld in the front of the muffler is broken, so the pipe is no longer joined to the muffler.
Welding
It's quite loud.
is broken. So it's getting tired, basically. That's what's
I
happening.
think Cape York has taken its toll on this thing.
Yeah, I think so too. Cape York has taken its toll. But that's what happens, you know. If you don't drive your car, then it'll be fine.
Yeah, but it got us all the way there and back, so it's done well.
That's it. I'd rather have a slightly broken car, I suppose, and get to do these things than...
We did a 6-week trip. We left from the peninsula, and then 6 weeks we got home.
This is rough. Could have flattened this out a bit better.
So we did the Iconics, Gold Coach Road, Tally Track, Richmond.
Oh, I should add, he had a puncture this morning as well. So he's had to change his tyre. So far, would say if you're a beginner, this is a nice state for a beginner to come and do something a little bit more extreme than maybe something they've done before. But this is, I mean, it's perspective, isn't it? It's in really good condition, but does that make it fun? I'm still enjoying it. For some people, it's just been ruined. I'm just happy to get out and about. Is Nicole driving?
No, not at this point.
Need to encourage Craig to let Nicole have a go. Love the view. The view is just awesome. Okay, this is the gnarly bit. More gnarly coming up. It's still a bit rocky, but it's still pretty straight. Like, the holes will come back in good time because the rock's still underneath. I can't remember if that's the really, it seems a lot wider than normal. I don't know. Maybe I'm not in the right space of where I think I am. Is this the bit here that Winston got stuck in a wombat hole? I think this is normally quite gnarly here, I think. Yeah, that's more like what I remember. Gosh, this is so different. Look at it. It's like a highway. Could probably do it in 2-wheel drive. Wow. Oh, I can see a wallaby. Gosh, this is so different. Yeah, okay. So I'm going up the bit now that Winston got stuck in a massive wombat hole, and it's like a highway. I mean, the holes will come back. You can kind of see that they're already starting to form, but it's so flat.
And I just got to the rocky part. You can see it's starting to get a few little holes. There's going to be soft rock in it. That's the thing.
That's a bit of a hole there. Bags of grit. I'm intrigued as to where they get the rock from. Do you think they just dig it out the side and spread it on the track, so therefore the track is becoming wider? Yeah, maybe. Not sure I'd want the job of being up here with a bulldozer. One little mistake and you're down there. I'm assuming everybody's all right back there.
Yeah, my good. Yep. Yep, no issues. Up on my car falling apart.
you've had to change your gearbox, you've had to change your tail shaft, your uni joints. Then I was like, then his starter motor's gone, so we're having to hit that with a hammer. And then the exhaust has just given up the ghost. And then I'm like, oh, and we had a flat tyre this morning that he's had to deal with. All very close together. Makes for interesting stories. Can't remember if I mentioned it was Christmas Eve today. I think I did, hence my little Christmas decoration. So the thing I'm noticing that definitely has disappeared, I don't know, it might change as we get higher up, is normally, so the last 2 times that I've been up here, when it's been a little bit rougher, there's large sections of rock, just rock, like none of this loose stuff, like jagged rock across the track, and I've not seen any of that. It's obviously still there, it's underneath, but it's just all been covered or maybe broken up. I don't know how it works. This looks a bit loose. Yeah, like you can just see it there underneath. All the gaps have been filled with rock and gravel. Oh, it gets a little bit looser up here. This is fun. But the kind of bigger rocky bits, yeah.
Yeah, it would have been fairly loose when they first graded it.
Yeah,
like, this is actually like compacted really well so far.
You can see them here, the lines across, just all filled. Yeah, I'm not sure I would have wanted to have been the first person up here once they'd graded it. It would have been so loose. As in it's a little bit wider, but one thing you can see back there is everybody's taking the same path, and so especially on that corner we just went past, you can kind of almost start to see a channel form. So I just went a different route to try and not end up with a big channel, but you know, I'm one of however many cars come and do this. I don't know. I wonder how long have we been on here for? Maybe 20 minutes. Cracking along nicely. So I was thinking that so I'm going to do a comparison video from May to now.
Yeah, no, I just touched wrong here.
Are you still moving or are you stuck?
He's underway again.
Awesome. Might just wait. I was waiting for Craig and it was taking a bit of time. And I thought, oh, I'll jump out and take a picture, and then of course as soon as I do that, Craig comes along. Anyway, onwards. up old and new because it's so different. Yes, cracking view. Don't forget to look out the window at the view. Also pay attention to the track. Although, to be honest, I could probably do it blindfolded with a navigator, obviously. Pretty much at the top. Campground. It's now just mud. Say not like an official campground, but a little spot. Gosh. Obviously this spot up here isn't the end of Billy Goats, but this is the end of the, I think, iconicness of the drive. The ridge. Get your picture up here. Let me get my picture. We are at the top of Billy Goats.
York, I think I could actually see you and I was struggling to actually hear you. I missed out on the whole story. You heading up the Pinnacles, yeah?
I forgot to turn the camera on when I just moved the car.
Yeah, it's up the Pinnacles, so I'll tell you when we get up there then.
Right, so this is where we leave the rocky climbs and see what muddy ruts await and whether they've all gone really, but we're nearly done. What's interesting is we've picked up Josh, who's just a solo driver. He's never done Billy Goats before, and he's a newbie, and he was like, oh, there's some of those sections are, you know, a bit loose and gravelly, and here I am driving it like, this is nothing, this is just a highway. So it just shows how the more you do these things, and you know, when I come around this corner, that's the really wombatty bit, and when I come around this corner, that's that bit. So, but he's experienced, he has the same amount of experience as me, he's just never done this track before, didn't know what to expect. I expected it to be pretty much just like it is, which is probably very similar to how it was 3 years ago when I did it the first time, and that was one of the scariest drives I've done, apart from Haunted Stream where I nearly drove off the side of the track. That was before it got graded and turned into something really easy. That video is on the channel, I'm pretty sure. Had to have Carmen stood here saying, just drive, let go of the brakes, just drive. Oh my god! Can't remember if I was crying, but it was terrifying. It was chucking it down with rain, and if you've ever done Crooked River, there's places where it's a bit clay-like. So look, all this has been graded too. section on here where it was a bit rutty, a bit of a tight turn. We'll see if that's gone. Because, you know, if we're talking fire access, then those things have to go. Why do I think it was this corner here? Yeah, that's... oh wow. Do you know that there was that corner that kind of was rutty and you kind of had to drop in at an angle? That's totally gone. Yeah, okay. That was like the little bypass track. Yeah, you can see they've totally... what gear am I in? I'm getting a good one. Not convinced that hole will come back anytime soon, because they've really flattened that out.
Yeah, they have taken that big hole over that drop in, haven't they?
Yeah. This is way wider. Tons of rock in this, but I can imagine that the bits at the side might get a little bit rutted. It looks pretty wet. Much wider. Shush, fishing rod. There was even a hole around here somewhere, which I'm gonna totally assume is gone. Because why would you do all that and not fill the hole? Oh, a bit of a hole there. Not big. Nearly at the end. In fact, there is the end. Well, there you go. Billy Goats. We're going to call it Billy Goats 2025 because it's pretty much 2025. I've really filmed this just for the summer. There's the end of the track. Yeah, I filmed this for the summer really, so that everybody going up this summer can see it. 2025's version of Billy Goats. Hope you enjoyed it. I know I did, even though it was easy. Easy peasy. Alright, see you next time.